Routine. It's something we all know. It's something many of us have, but it could be the one thing that is preventing you from advancing on your spiritual journey. Now, what do I mean by that? How can doing something consistently, especially if it's good for you, over and over again, be actually bad for you in the long run? Well, let me explain for a moment because I know this can raise a lot of eyebrows and draw a lot of scrutiny, but I'm not here to sort of question the value of having a routine. I like to think that I have somewhat of a routine. It's a little bit more flexible than perhaps most would identify as a routine, but generally speaking, I kind of do a lot of the same things from day to day to day. So I guess you can call that a routine. But I think the area that I wanted to focus on in this video and maybe shed a little bit more light on is what happens when you are so fixated to a routine and for whatever reason are not able to continue it day in and day out. So let me give you an example. What if you have this routine that every morning before you go to work, you have to meditate for an hour, or you have to read for an hour, or you have to do something that will connect you with your soul in the quiet morning hours before the world has woken up? But what if something happens one morning where you're not able to do that? Let's say, for example, you have a young child and they were up all night because they were sick or they were uncomfortable, and you didn't get any chance to have any sleep, and so you weren't able to get up. Or if you did get up, you did not have the same energy. Or maybe something urgent from work came up and you had to go to work early that day. And you weren't able to actually spend that time meditating or praying or reflecting. How would that affect you? Maybe many of you have experienced this before, where you do have some sort of a routine, but it gets interrupted or it gets disrupted altogether. Some of us would take that as an extreme nuisance, something to be incredibly annoyed at. But that's where I wanted to kind of focus on in this video. That while it's okay to have a routine, while it's okay to have a sense of structure, if we are so attached to that, that missing it for one day or one week, or who knows, missing it for a very long period of time will create real unhappiness inside us, then maybe that routine is not good for us to begin with. Because the true point of spirituality is not to follow routines. The true point of spirituality is to be connected with God and to be connected throughout all the different bends of life, through the busy moments and the peaceful ones, through the times that we're with others and the times that we're alone, right? There's no sort of like every morning has to be a peaceful morning or every morning has to be a quiet morning because that's the only environment that I'll be able to grow spiritually. Having that mindset creates such a unreasonable demand on life and creates such a rigid style of living that it's very hit or miss. When we are able to do it, we feel great, it feels exciting, but when we don't, unhappiness sinks in and stress and a feeling of perhaps even resentment that why wasn't I able to do this? Life is so annoying or work is so annoying or this is so inconvenient that it prevented me from actually doing the things that I wanted to do. It's not what you want to do. It's what God wants you to do. And there is a major difference. Because yes, we might have an idea, but only God really knows the full picture. Only God has seen our entire life from start to finish. And if we make the dangerous assumption that we know everything and we operate in this egoic mindset, then we will inevitably invite a lot of struggle, a lot of suffering, a lot of pain, a lot of unhappiness. So, just to kind of make everything clear here, I'm not against routines. I'm not against having some sort of an activity that you can use as your North Star or as your compass to kind of ground you from the daily chaos of life. But just don't be attached to it. It's okay if things get moved around. It's okay if you're not able to do the thing that you've been doing for 3 years and you have to stop it now. I've encountered this so much, right? Whether it is, as I mentioned earlier, the meditation example or whatever it may be. Last year, a lot of the times it was, I had done such a great job of producing a short video every single day, but then this year, through various reasons, work, life, family, whatnot, I just wasn't able to. And sometimes that would create a little bit of an angst in me and sort of an impatience in me that I can't wait to get back to doing these videos on a daily basis. But I've just learned to kind of let it go, to not be so worried and stressed of trying to follow this routine all the time and perfectly. The times that I can do it, great, it's wonderful. But if I can't do it, then that's also wonderful as well. I think God is putting something in my life that I need to focus on at this time. I can't just try to brush it away or try to get through it as fast as I can so I can return to what I know and what I'm comfortable with. And maybe perhaps God gives me those moments because as a sign to say, you know what, you're getting a little too comfortable with this routine. You're getting a little too attached to the routine. So ultimately, it's a matter of setting good habits, continuing those habits, but ultimately being flexible with those habits, understanding that what you are seeking may come in different forms. So to go back to that meditation example, it's not the act of meditation that you're seeking, it's what meditation ultimately brings, which is a sense of stillness, a sense of clarity, a sense of seeing your true identity. But what good is that if you're not able to do your meditation that morning and you do get annoyed and you do get frustrated? Well, then you've actually created yourself. Nothing else is created. Don't blame your external environment. You yourself have prevented that stillness, have prevented that clarity, that silence, that deep inner introspection. Because you can achieve that even if you have to, go to work early. You can achieve that, do your meditation in the car, or maybe do it at a later time, or maybe just be present in whatever it is that life is calling you to do at that moment. Because that in and of itself will help you reach your goal quicker, the goal of stillness and the goal of introspection quicker than following a set routine that needs to happen a certain way. Different roads can lead to the same castle. And that is so true for our own spiritual journey as well. Sometimes God will take us down a journey that we might not understand or agree with on the surface, but when you go deeper, you start to see that, now I see the bigger picture. Now I see why God wanted me to pursue this sort of path versus, the path that I had grown comfortable with over and over and over all this time. So I'll leave you guys with kind of this thought. This isn't really a long video because I just felt that I wanted to kind of address this briefly, something that's been on my mind lately. This idea of just not being so pigeonholed into a routine, being flexible, going with the flow, and allowing what may unfold to unfold. I think that is the true beauty of life, to both have a structure, but ultimately to be in a position where if the structure is not followed to the T, that we're still okay with that. We're still fine. We're still here. We're still connected with God. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you as always for taking some time out of your busy day. I know we all have lives to lead. We all have different responsibilities to carry out, different people relying on us. And it's not always easy. especially when, most of these topics are not, unlike other YouTube videos, most of these topics are not something that will bring us an immediate benefit or bring us an immediate reward. It's part of a longer journey, part of a longer process. Like just by you taking some time to listen to this, to watch this, kudos to you. I commend you for it because these are the things that unfortunately get overlooked so often. It's not what people, or the vast majority of people want to hear or want to do. They just want to kind of see what will apply to them in this moment. But these sort of deeper topics are what's really going to bring us fulfillment and joy, and ultimately a connection with the divine. So thank you for watching. Thank you for being true and honest to your own spiritual journey. And I hope you guys do take some time to check out some of the other videos on this channel. I've produced a lot of videos over the last couple of years, very different videos. In the beginning, I used to do a lot more poetry and sort of poetry inspired spiritual teachings, but that's, sort of naturally shifted to more of these conversational type talks. But regardless, I hope you find something that suits you and that will support you on your journey. If you have any questions or want to reach out, to learn more, please don't hesitate to drop, a comment. Visit my website. I am offering, and I probably should have mentioned this, but I am offering spiritual counseling sessions now for those of you who are interested. For those of you who like these videos, watch these videos, but perhaps want kind of more of that one-on-one attention. I am carving up some time in my schedule to offer those sessions. So if you are interested, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. But otherwise, I'll leave you with that. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I look forward to seeing you next time.